Good evening, friends. Right now it is 21st of November and the time is 12:30 a.m. So while lots of people are celebrating Saturday night, I am going to talk about something which goes beyond what you listen to or what you hear about. So I don't want to make this about, you know, trading strategy or buy here, sell there. I am going to tell you what it takes beyond watching YouTube views to make money. See, high probability turning points, there are many ways of, getting to know those high probability turning points. You can use the moving averages, you can use support resistance, you can use pivot levels, and if on those levels you have price action which is showing you support or resistance, you act. Okay, now this is just 10% of the story. Despite your best efforts, despite your best analysis, the market need not do what you think it will do. Okay, so this has to be understood, that if you have the same pattern 10 times, maybe 3 to 4 times, things will not work. And that is where the mental conditioning comes in. What is that mental conditioning? That mental conditioning is the moment you take a trade, be ready for it not working out. Mentally, or even with a system stop, have that approximate number of amount of loss that you will just not take. Pattern or no pattern, or back testing or no back testing. Number two, when it starts to work, you will let it go to potential. So if you have a pattern which works 60% of the time and it gives you a 1:2, 1:3 type of risk reward, like you lose a lakh and you make 2.5, 3 lakhs, and you can repeat this process 60 to 70% of the time, or even 50% of the time, you will be way ahead. Now, all this YouTube gyan, it does not give you this mindset, which is that you are accepting uncertainty. What the YouTube mindset tells you is, these are 5 steps. Step 1, look at this. Step 2, look at that. Step 3, or this is the indicator that you must look at and it will make you successful. You will not win big on trading. And big means 6 figures. Till your mind is so strong that you are always ready to cut a loser and let a winner ride. The trades that I put out on a daily basis, there are 1 or 2 losers, but the winner is so huge that it overwhelms the loser. No hoping, no praying. If it doesn't work, you have to cut it. So money management is something that has to get ingrained inside you. Otherwise, all of these, I would say humbug views will not help. Okay. If you are expecting that somebody has told you market is going to 12,000 and market is going to 13,500 and hence that is all you need to play, then it's like saying that I am swinging the bat in my bedroom and I will go and play and perform in a test match. This is something probably which will not get me many views, and I don't care beyond a point, because somebody must let you in on the quote unquote secret. I'm calling it secret because nobody talks about this. The trading strategy, the view, the level is just 10%. How good of a cowboy you are, which means everybody knows that if a ball is pitched up, you take your foot out and you hit. But in a test match situation, how many people can do that? Similarly, when the target is there, how many people at that time can shoot? Okay. And this goes beyond that, because you have to protect against losses. The issue becomes that when you start losing, you start to hope that it may come back, it may come back. That is not the way to go. Similarly, when you are winning, you just want to take your profits off before they are taken away. Even that is a very poor approach. So till your winners are humongous and your losers are, a fraction of the winners, you will not win. You can watch my videos daily. You can watch some XYZ Guru's videos daily. That is something they are not telling you, and nobody can teach you that. This is a human quality. I mean, somebody is a nervous person who cannot be decisive. Somebody else is a very decisive person. He has rules. He is following that. He has a proper written down trading plan. See, a man is an emotional creature. A man will never be able to take perfect decisions. So put your trading plan on a piece of paper and let it take over. And finally, it should become so well ingrained inside you that you should not have any problem. It should become instinctive. Okay. Because a lot of time you will be down. Your first trade didn't work out. You will have to come back. So for that, you need mental fortitude. For that, you have to understand your view went wrong, something else went wrong, the market had other ideas. You need to move on. People who get stuck, who become deers in a headlight, they are in the wrong business. And some people will not be able to make it. Let's face that. So the idea I'm trying to bring here is the mindset of looking at your trades in a very emotionless manner. And what that means is that your trade does not define you. Okay. Your rules define you, that you will do. If X happen, you have a certain plan. If Y happens, you have a certain other plan. When it works, you run it as far as you can. When it doesn't work, you just jump out. Okay. As you know, media personality, etc. I had great problem if I said something on the media and market did something else, and it took me a while to understand that market doesn't care about what I said and what I didn't say. And that is how you must look at it. The market gives you marks on what you did when you were wrong and what you did when you were right. So the practice you have to do is not to practice looking at charts 50,000 charts over the weekend. Yes, that practice is important, but that will not determine whether you will make large money as a trader. It will make you a great analyst, but it will not make you a trader till you understand that capital protection is paramount, and when it works, that day you really carry a big packet home. I hope I am making sense. I hope I have organized my mindset and the thought process of good trading and have delivered that to you, because most people will not move beyond views. And you can keep that playing that game daily, that daily X view happened or Y view happened. The important bit is not whether you knew what would happen, nobody knows. But whatever happened, were you able to quickly align with the market? And that is my goal on a daily basis. I am not judging myself based on my view. What I am judging myself on is, was I able to align quickly in the markets? So understand things in this context if you have to be successful as a trader. Okay, have a basic system, but have very strong money management, have a very strong process of cutting losers and adding on to winners, and having those big paydays. Otherwise, a lot of you are wasting your time. And my advice is that if you don't have mentally what it takes, it would be better to move on to something else. Not everybody can have this kind of a mindset. So if you have great trouble mentally dealing with trading, I think, for some of you, it may be worth moving on. A lot of you probably want to hurt yourself to have that victim type of feeling. A lot of you are probably taking revenge for something that happened in the past. So, if you are using trading to satisfy some mental block, it's a very, very expensive place to do that. And my advice is, again, get help or move on. You need to have a very clear mindset, very mentally strong mindset to really overcome the hurdles of trading, the least of which is knowing what the market will do. Even if you don't know what the market will do, you will be able to make money if you are mentally strong. And if you have 10 types of analysis going on, but you are not mentally strong, you're finished. So let's not, make that mistake of thinking that if you just knew where the market will go, you'll be able to do well. 100% of people will not be able to do well even when you take my service, because you will not be able to execute. So make sure you are mentally ready before you try to blame others, advisors, TV, this, that. First, look at yourself. Okay. So that should be it for this little video. I think it's important to hear this, because if you don't hear this, some of you will continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. Have a good weekend, and I hope I can bring continuously such content to you, which will not only help people who have already become my members, but even others. See, giving back is very, very important, and a lot of things, a lot of such content I will be offering free, because it is useful to everybody. You can follow any system, but if you don't have the right mindset, you won't be able to make it. So that should be it. In case you are interested to have to join us through our join button, again, our numbers 98710 66337. and email ashwani_gujral@yahoo.com. That's ASHWANI_GUJRAL at yahoo.com. Good night.